Hi there, and Happy New Year. I hope 2021 is off to a great start and that despite the circumstances around the world, you're keeping safe. And on today's segment of Smashing the Patriarchy, we're going to be talking about the bitter feminist. And I think it's important that we address then how, patriarchy has audacity to try to silence women, particularly when you're trying to speak up against, systemic oppression or all these kind of structures. And one of the things that has been important for me or that I have learned throughout coming up as a young person, trying to understand the ways in which I take up space or how then I understand and, craft my own feminism and understanding nuances of feminism as well has been, when being called bitter, I'm bitter, and then the so what part, right? And you realize most of these people that either are quick to label or do that are did not only understand the context of what exactly feminism is about and how then it should manifest or how people should speak up. So most of the time, please do not get caught up in the trap of trying to explain or justify, like, oh no, it's not bitter. That's that takes up a lot of not only energy but time that could be directed elsewhere. Because in my experience, most of the people that were calling you bitter or angry and whatnot were just there just to antagonize, and you lose time. Either if it's on Facebook, you spend trying to type paragraphs that this person's not going to read. They're just there to just tell you, oh, you're just bitter because they're not concerned. Because remember, the people, I think for movements to exist, you have to be angry at the system. You have to be that bitter to be moved enough to do something. Because it's important to realize how then issues affect people. If for you, you can only go with feminism to this extent because either your social class protects you from either kind of certain kind of systemic violence. Like if you say, oh, feminists are bitter because they find problem with every issues, that's very problematic. And I'm just like, no, not today. So learning how to pick those battles, but also not learning how not to inherit these labels and let them limit you on how you can speak up, right? And I think one of the second things for me that has been, being a bitter feminist, being angry and whatnot, has been learning how to be, I think, particular and deliberate about that anger and where to use it and how to use it. Because otherwise, you're just going to meet people that is going to make you angry and going to get so tired to just be fighting. So always engage in conversations, or the people that you meet, look, what am I learning from this conversation? Or what's the new thing that I'm taking away? Or is the person that I'm engaging with, holding that space to learn, to learn and be disrupted, or what's the other side of this argument or this engagement as well. And I think that is important, not letting the label just define you. Then because people, oh, you're bitter, then you just, try to shrink yourself. And that's the thing, making, oppression feel uncomfortable, making those with privilege feeling uncomfortable, and taking up space does that. We're not going to dismantle structures if you're just going to be like, oh my God, what if they think I'm bitter? Oh my God, what if they think I'm angry? That is at the core of the movement. The anger is needed to do the work, right? And I think that's important. So let us know in the comments, what are the other texts that you've heard people label feminists, and how have you overcome it, or how do you engage it in your everyday life?